Hey YouTubers, Steve here with RV Site to Site. I'm at my home base here and working on a couple of projects on the RV, and I'll be releasing those videos pretty soon. But today I wanted to concentrate on the outdoor kitchen area. A few months ago, about 3 months ago actually, I posted a video, Outdoor Kitchen Useless, installing the Blackstone Griddle. And so in 3 months, that video has already had over 57,000 views, and I really appreciate that. It really picked up our number of subscribers, and I also appreciate that. But we had several comments, or so far right now, about 116 comments, and they were concerned about a few things. So in this video, I've got a little project I want to do, but in the meantime, I'm going to be answering some of those questions. And so one of the questions I want to answer today, though, is that the Blackstone Griddle is designed to sit on a tabletop. And so we're going to check the heat and behind the griddle. We're going to check the heat under the griddle, and we'll see how that goes. So let's go. You know, one thing that's really been bugging me is this. If you'll notice right here, of course, that's where I put my little pin. For those of you who watch my videos and you wonder how I secure this, the Blackstone in here, is I have these little pins that I stick down in there, and it keeps them from coming out. However, if you'll notice, on this side, it's quite a bit further in. Now this is the same, and this is the same, but this right here is in line with the outside board here, but this right here is about 1/4 of an inch or more back. All right, and why is that? And I don't know if you can see it. The reason is because these brackets are in the wrong place. They needed to be moved to the right just a little bit. So I'm gonna take, there's some screws back here, 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna take those out and move them, the whole thing, to the right a little bit. This board is what holds everything in there. Now just needs to be move it a little bit to the right. For those of you who wasn't sure that I secured my grill good enough to the little shelf here, here's the screws that hold it right here, and I'm gonna take these out. Here's another one, and another one, and a final one. I don't leave my hose connected. I just have the little adapter here that used to be for a 1-pound cylinder, but a 1-pound cylinder, first of all, I don't like 1-pound cylinders, so the 1-pound cylinders would not clear there if I wanted to use 1-pound cylinders, but I don't. So I'm going to lift this off, and I'll just have my shelf here. I'll take my storage. This is where I store my little cover pan, and this is where I store my grease cup. And so what I'll do is I'll loosen up these screws back here, and I think you can see them again. I'll loosen up these 3 screws back here, and I should be able to move it to the right. I'm gonna mark right here so I'll know how far I move it to the right. All right, now that I've loosened up the screws, I can look in here. I've got this pretty square. And so basically what I need to do is just make sure that the shelf has moved far enough right to do that, and it looks like it has. I'll measure, and it looks like it is exactly 1 inch here, and it looks like it is exactly 1 inch here. So that would solve the problem. So take my drill out, make sure I don't have any weight on the shelf. I'll bring it back, and you see how far it has moved? When they installed this, it was 1/2 inch off. And I'm gonna fix that. And that's gonna make me feel a lot better. And for those of you who are wondering, this is the bottom of the oven. And this is why I couldn't put my my griddle setting upright. But I didn't have enough room between here and here. So now I'm going to push the shelf back to make sure it's all square. Now I'll pull it out, and I'm going to mark where it's supposed to go. So it's moved probably 3/8 of an inch. So now I'm going to screw these back down where they should be. Alright, now the shelf goes in just like it's supposed to. Okay, so I'll tighten the screws back down. Don't tighten them too much, just enough to snug them. Put my pan back in here to store. Put my grease cup back in here to store. Put my cover back on. Push it back in. And there you go. Very nice and secure. Put my pan back here. Put my other pan here. Now when the grill comes out, it comes out and it's nice and solid. It's not like it was before where it was all crooked. And we close it up and it's secure. We're going to do a heat check. So the first thing we're going to do is to connect up the LP gas. I've connected it to the fitting underneath. I've got these quick connects. I really like those. And when this is turned this way in line, it is producing gas to this right here. All right, so we'll take the griddle top. We'll turn it right side up. Now someone mentioned that the rivets right here, when you turn this upside down, they may mark the griddle. And so I can see that it is. So I'm going to probably try to figure out something that I can put that's the size of this right here and lay this on here before I turn it upside down. All right, so again, to get this out further, and I need to look into this, I want to find out a slide. If any of you know of any slides that are 18 and a half inches long but yet come out further, I would like to know about that. Also, I would like to know how I can drop this down. Cooking this high is really inconvenient. I can do it, but it's still inconvenient. But the reason I bring this out a little further is so that I can get the heat shield behind it there. All right, so I put the heat shield. This is the heat shield that I made. And people were concerned about this panel right here. And so this will protect this panel. And we're going to take some temperature measurements and see how that goes. I was also concerned about the heat. I'm not so much concerned about the heat under here. I'm concerned more about the heat here and coming out back here. And so this is the reason I put this heat shield here. This is good for up to 2,000 degrees. And so we're going to do some heat measurements and see how that goes. All right, so the first thing we do is you're going to turn on the gas. All right. Next thing we're going to do is push this button in, and let's see if we can get it to light. All right, now we have a flame in here, and I'm going to leave it on high. We have our shield right here, and so we're going to see how that does. All right, so first of all, let's do the, you see I have this temperature thing here, and let's just see what the temperature is on the backboard right now. It says it's 64 degrees back there. I've moved the panel back just a little bit so you can see the temperature on the backboard. It says it's 68, 69 degrees. All right, I'm going to see what the temperature is on this right now. It is 247 degrees. Let's see what the heat shield is. 95, 98, 101, 102. Let's see. All right, we'll see what the griddle temperature is. It is 79 degrees on the front. It is 166 degrees on the side. The board it's sitting on is 69 degrees. I'll shoot it from underneath, directly in the middle. 61 degrees. So there doesn't seem to be much heat coming from underneath. The griddle is 297 degrees. The back is 190 degrees. And just taking temperature reading of the panel right here, it's 67 degrees, so the panel behind is not getting hot. The lid, or the door cover, is 70 degrees, So that's not being affected. The heat is guided out this way right here. And again, for all those who were concerned that it's sitting on this wood surface and were concerned about getting hot, somebody suggested I might need to put a metal surface right here. But this is a tabletop grill. It's designed to sit on a wooden table. Blackstone wouldn't have made this if there's an extreme danger. And I'm touching this right here, underneath. I'm touching it. And it's right here. The surface up here is 378 degrees. It's approaching 400 degrees right now. And, but yet the tabletop is 73 degrees. So there's no danger of this burning, and especially with this shield. $418 degrees on the surface there. $106 degrees on the front. Right here it is slightly warm, but not hot at all. The tabletop on this side is 80 degrees, which is not bad at all. The temperature on the griddle is 425. The heat coming off the top up there, about 8 inches above the griddle on the heat shield, is 253. But behind is 80 degrees. So as you can see, I think I am not really concerned at all. $77 degrees up above there on the door plate. 78. And it is now 443 degrees. Smoke's coming off of it. Now, because I've got it hot and set out like this right now, I'll also probably cook something on it in a little while. Also, this shield right here, someone was concerned about grease splatter and stuff like that. Well, I'm kind of a neat freak, so this is always going to look kind of new right here. This is just some dust that fell down on it. I keep this really clean. I keep everything really clean. When I sell a camper 2 or 3 years from now, or 4 or 5 years from now, one camper I had for almost 10 years, it still looked new. And because we keep everything in really, really good shape. I'll put it to you this way. My wife is so neat that when I get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, my side of the bed's made up when I come back. So, I hope that allays any concerns you may have about the Blackstone Griddle on the RV. No heat problems anywhere. And my only complaint about this, it's a little high. I wish I could find some solution to that. Some of you have offered a couple of solutions. I'm not sure that'll work in my situation, but I'm willing to listen if you find something that you think might work. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching this video, and please look for some other videos. I have another one about the Blackstone Griddle where I installed it here on the RV, and then later one where I did the heat shield. It's called Blackstone Griddling, and so tune into those. And if you haven't already, again, please subscribe and I'll talk to you later. Have a great day.